Everybody forgot. Oh, you were there? No, you're not there. How about you? You were there, right? You're not there? You were there. You don't remember anything. That is the nature of our memory. You may think we are very smart, but our memory will fail us. So we talked about the material world being dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Material world is a place of misery and it is ashashvatam, means it is not permanent. Krishna says also in Bhagavad Gita, anityam asukham lokam. Anityam means nitya. What is nitya? Eternal. Nitya means always there. Anitya means not always there. So material world itself will not always be there, Krishna says. Forget about our houses, roads, buildings. No, this entire planet won't be there at some point. It will be annihilated. It's finished. And again recreated according to the template. There is a template for the universe. Material universes will come and they'll be destroyed. Again they'll come. Again they'll be destroyed. Bhutva bhutva praliyate. Means again and again there will be pralay to destroy this material world. We see some minor destruction here and there, like California fires, New Orleans, Katrina, we see different kind of things being coming and destroyed. But we are talking about the entire universe, not only just this planet. Entire universe means actually Satyaloka won't be destroyed. Everything below that will be destroyed. And then all the people will go to Satyaloka and from there they'll be delivered to the spiritual world. It's very hi-fi knowledge. Most people cannot even understand how this works. But anyway, Krishna says, Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Spiritual world is a place where there is no kunta. Kunta means misery. No kunta means no misery. So we also talked about how this world is a jail. Jail. It might not look like that. If there is a jail, where are the chains, you may ask? But we discussed that the chains are in form of three gunas: goodness, passion, and ignorance. So people in the mode of ignorance, the moment they say a smoke shop or marijuana shop or liquor shop, they will immediately get attracted to go there. So they have been chained. It's just like you put a chain and you pull them. The moment they see something in the mode of ignorance, they will automatically go in that direction. I know I used to have a manager. He and I went to a conference and we are coming back. We landed in SeaTac airport. He saw a board for a casino. He says, okay, now I'll go to casino. Mode of ignorance, you have to pull like that. They'll automatically get dragged in that direction. So this jail is a prison house and our bodies are prison cells. So right now we have Indian prison cells, Indian human prison cells. They are captured in those prison cells. And next life it could be Chinese prison cells or maybe a poisonous snake in Wuhan ready for sale in the market. And somebody will buy that, they'll get that coronavirus and they'll spread it to so many other people. You know the statistics today, coronavirus? How many? Huh? Ah, you are way behind, sir. Let me show you the stats. This window is dead. And it is spreading like crazy. I stayed at the Hyatt Regency recently because my flight from Montreal was diverted to San Francisco instead of the original plan. And then from San Francisco, I had to stay overnight and then came back yesterday morning. So GIS. This is John Research Center, where they give most accurate information. 40,000 infected already, 906 died, 3,244 recovered. Yeah, recovery rate is also pretty good, but death rate is pretty. SARS killed 800 people in 8 months. Corona killed 906 people in 1.5 months. So now you know this is more dangerous. In 1500s and 1600s, there was a similar virus which killed 2 million people in China. So who knows how many people this will kill, right? Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirбhavati bharata abhyudhanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. So if he doesn't come in a form of avatar, he'll come in form of death. And he will take people away. Wherever there is adharma, these people kill everything and eat everything. So he said, okay, I will kill you. He'll come in form of some virus or something, right? Actually, it doesn't even have to come in form of a virus. You have walls in the heart, right? If some walls are misaligned, what will happen? Thing called the heart attack will happen. So the Lord can finish us in a second, actually, because it's here. He's there as Paramatma in the heart. You just do some alignment, finish. Chapter close. He doesn't have to come down to kill the demons. Doesn't have to come down. The reason Lord comes down is to give pleasure to the devotees. So people can say, Hare Krishna came, this is what he did. He played with Mother Yashoda, he killed demons Tataka, he killed the demon Trinavarta. To give pleasure, entertainment. He wants to entertain his devotees. Otherwise, there's no reason for the Lord to descend. He can do everything from there only. I mean, he does that from time to time. But the time of Pralaya, the entire universe system itself gets destroyed. So this is nothing. For him, this is just a piece of cake. So we have chains and ropes that capture us. So you may say, where are the chains and ropes? Chains and ropes are the three gunas, Sattva guna, Rajo guna, and Tamo guna. Why is a jail created? It's a costly affair to maintain a jail, right? Because there will be miscreants in any society. So instead of shooting them down, jail gives a chance to gradually rectify. So this material world is a jail given to us so that we can gradually be rectified. It's a restricted environment. You don't have too much freedom. You have some freedom, but it is not a very big freedom. So what kind of people are sent to a jail? People who rebel against the authority. We are all rebelled. We rebelled in the spiritual world. That's why we are sent here to the jail. Krishna says, Ichha dvesha samuttena dvanda mohena bharata sarva bhutani sammoham sarge yanti parantapa. Ichha means desire, dvesha means hate. We had a desire to enjoy independent of Krishna. Had a desire. And dvesha, we hated his superiority. Why should only Krishna be God? Why can't I be God? So without of that notion, we were not allowed to stay there. The moment you have this thought, why should only Krishna be God? Why can't I be God? Then you are, the next second, you are here in the material world. You are born to some parents. You will not realize that, but you just immediately, you live there and you start coming here. And then you slowly start building karma. And because of karma, you can never exit. Right? So you go to a new city with a credit card with zero expenditure, but $10,000 limit. Then you start doing activities, and then your credit card balance gets depleted. Right? So it's 9,000, 8,000, 7,000. On one day, it will become zero. So you have finished all your karmic balance like that. Oh, Scion of Bharata. Scion means kid. There is also a car called Toyota Scion. Scion means kid, right? So Toyota Scion is a smaller version of Toyota, the bigger version like Camry or whatever. So, O sign of Bharata, O conqueror of the foe, all living entities are born into delusion, means extreme amount of confusion. Bewildered by dualities arisen from desire and hate. Desire, Icha, hate, Dvesha. Icha, Dvesha, Samuthena, Dvanda, Mohena, Bharata. So, because of our Icha, of being near God or independent of God, I don't want your superiority, God. That's what we said. And we had some hatred towards. So what happens? We are bewildered, confused now, and we are born into this material realm, into illusion. Desire is to be God, and hate is consequent hatred and envy for God. That's why envy is the most dangerous thing in the material world. Everything else can be conquered, but envy cannot be conquered. Gradually, it can be reduced to a point that we become a servant of God, and it's possible to return. Result is we become a sore thumb in the spiritual world, means we become a nuisance. So there is no scope for nuisance makers. You're a nuisance maker, okay, get out. Right? Suppose you are in a company party and you start creating some noise. They'll say, okay, sir, you can take your noise outside because other people are doing something valuable here. We get out. Same. So we are out. And then we are sent to material realm where God hides from us. So he is not visible anymore. It is okay, you wanted to do nonsense, you do nonsense. I'll be there as a witness, just witness. We are put into illusion, moha, in this material world. Without that, we cannot enjoy separate from God. So that's where the concept of illusion comes. If we still know that we came from the spiritual world, then we cannot enjoy. That is, the purpose with which we came will be lost. So therefore, God puts a curtain around us. Okay, you want to enjoy, right? You enjoy within this purview of this curtain. Push to some magic. And then we think we are very happy, we are very independent, we can build our own buildings, our own cars, this and that. But we are forgetting that all of this is temporary, including the body. And we also become subject to dualities. In the spiritual world, there is no duality. So here, there is happiness sometimes, distress sometimes. Heat is there sometimes, cold is there sometimes. Honor, dishonor. So many things at different times. In the material world, God provides us the facilities to satisfy our perverted desires. Perversion means it is not the original, it has been twisted. Perversion means twisted. If you look at the dictionary meaning. So we have our own personal agenda. There is God's agenda. We ignored God's agenda and we said, no, I have my own agenda now. What is that own agenda? Being the enjoyer, controller, and proprietor. I want to be the enjoyer. I want to be the controller. I want to be the proprietor. This sense of controllership doesn't go away. We all want to control something or the other. That's why people have pets. Because if they try to control somebody else, the fellow is not listening. At least if you have a dog, it will listen to you. That's your better. Okay, the dog dies. Sits down. Cut it around. Then he stands up. In this way, you have that sense of controllership over the dog at least. That's why. Because if you tell that to your son or daughter, they'll say, oh, this is America, free country. I'll sue you. It happens actually here. There was one couple from Sri Lanka. They brought a son here, and the son was very rebellious. America, if you say anything, I call 911, this and that. Then on the pretext of a vacation, they took him to Sri Lanka. As soon as they landed in Sri Lanka, the father gave a big slap to the son and he said, Bula 911. I will see who will come. If I hear call, my city bajaunga, the 10 people will come and beat you up. Come on, do what you want to do. Then the fellow came to senses. Right? Here you cannot say anything to anyone. There will be some law you will be breaking even if you open your mouth. There was this billionaire, he made a sexist remark. And then his company stock price fell so much that he lost $4 billion in one day. I mean, he's multi-billionaire, not millionaire, multi-billionaire. Like that. Anything you do will come. Satya Nadella, once he said something about women, they are not progressing, they have to work very hard, and big uproar. How can you say that? Actually, it is true. How can women compete with men in men's stuff? It's almost like now men will try to compete with women on women's stuff. Okay, I'll have a baby now. Hit me, beta. You cannot become somebody that you are not. Right? So he said this, what was obvious, but there was a big uproar. Then he had to eat his own words. So the problem is here, everyone trying to compete with each other to become the controller, enjoyer, and competitor. We want to control somebody. We want to enjoy everything that's around us, and we want to compete with each other. That is the nature of the material world. We are in the material world. The result is there is conflict, hatred, envy amongst everyone. Two people cannot get together in this. I mean, why do we get along with colleagues in the office? Because there is that, okay, if you don't get along, I'll fire you. Or if you get along well, I'll give you a bonus. So with that carrot, dangling carrot, we pretend to cooperate with our colleagues. And they also pretend to cooperate with us. Otherwise, it will be the law of jungle. You want to see the law of jungle, you see so many African countries. Right? No rule, no nothing. Idi Amin in Uganda. Right? The South African white community dominating the black community for so many years. Even after apartheid was eliminated, still it continues till there. Recently, one Uber driver from Gabon or some African country was telling me, only now people are realizing how the structure has been built in our country that profits go to France. France ruled most of Africa. So even today, the structure is such that anything that you make, a portion goes to French companies in France. So as they were leaving the country, they built the structure like that. Very smart. But French are not very happy either. This practically marriage concept is dead in France. So what will happen? Gradually the civilization will finish. They're not producing enough babies because there is no stable marriage. What will happen if they don't have enough babies? In 2-3 generations, it's finished actually. Somebody else will come and occupy that place and they will promote their race. That's what happens. So the misery is to constantly remind us that this is not our place. What is the purpose of misery? It's a reminder, hey Baba, this is not your home. You have to leave this place. You have to leave this middle place and go back to our spiritual. Otherwise, what will happen? Generation after generation, everybody will come. They will try controllership. They'll try enjoying this world. There'll be a miserable failure. They'll die. Next generation will come. It will try the same thing. And they'll be finished. In this way, everybody's trying for a long, long time. Why do we want robots? Controllership again. I want to control that robot that will do everything for me. But to do that, you have to spend so much energy to design, build, maintain. They said, oh, once we have, there was a saying in America, once we have washing machines and dryers, there'll be so much free time for the people, the ladies at home, that they don't know what to do with that time. But is that true? After washing machine came, we have so much free time? We have something else. Now you have to pay for that washing machine and dryer and the electricity and the house where you install it. For that we have to work so that we can pay the mortgage and the electric bill and so on. So now you're spending more time working. Yeah? So the more we try to dominate or control nature, nature will control and dominate even more actually. The other day I missed one payment, suddenly credit card late fee. Right? Even one little mistake you make, the cascade effect is terrific. So what do we need to do? We need to go back to our real home. In the real home, the place free of envy or conflict. Why we came here? Because we developed that envious attitude, so we came here. If we get rid of that envious attitude, what will happen? We'll go back. But to get rid of envy, you have to get rid of other things. Lust, greed, and anger cause envy. So we have to get rid of lust, greed, and anger. There's so much greed actually. Like the other day, somebody was saying, especially people from India, they want 2 homes, 3 homes in America. They were perfectly okay with a flat, a rented flat in Bombay. But once they come to America, because they see, hey, your model acha hai. You take a loan, you buy a house, then you rent it out. I know one devotee here in temple has 21 houses. One devotee has 6 houses. Because the model keeps working. Till some catastrophe happens. Like some dynamic change in the economy. Suddenly interest rates shoot up or something happens and all of a sudden, what was an asset becomes a liability. I know in the last economic crash, one guy lost his second home because he could not make the payments. Because what happens, everything happens at the same time. Interest rates go up, economy goes down, people lose jobs, so their ability to pay the mortgage. So the musical chairs game comes to an end. At one point, you don't have a chair to sit on. In musical chairs, you know that, right? They'll keep on taking one chair out. In the end, only one fellow is left. So, out of 20 people who went to the party, only one fellow is winner. Everybody else is a loser. That's what happens. Till everything is, as long as everything is okay, it looks very rosy. But otherwise, this place is a place of misery. Why? Because Krishna himself designed it like that. He himself is saying, Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam. If he is himself saying, the designer says, Arey Baba, this toy will only work for 2 years. Can we make it work after 7 years? It won't work. It's just a piece of metal at that point. Because designer himself has given certified lifetime for 2 years. If the battery terminal won't break, the wheels will come off. If the wheels don't come off, something else will break. Some junction point will break. Because life is only 2 years for that toy design. Right? I remember my grandfather's radio from 1940 is still working. But after that, I bought so many electronic devices, they all died. Why? Because back then they used to design it for forever, 100 years like that. Now they don't design. Why? Because you don't buy one more, right? So they design so that they know that you are a repeat customer. So if you buy in 2020, in 2022, they can sell you your version, model. So this is by design. Krishna designed that there cannot be permanent happiness in this material world. You cannot seek permanent happiness in material. There will be temporary happiness, no doubt, but it cannot be permanent. So we need to go to our real home, a place free of envy or conflict, where everyone lives in a selfless, endless, blissful love. Our original love in the spiritual world became lust in the material world. The pure love got transformed. So we need to transform it back. Which means you have to convert our lust into love. Okay. Oh, you want a second car? Don't think of the second car. You think of what? How you can please Krishna. Maybe you have enough money to buy a second car, use it for service of the Lord. Maybe you can go to cash and carry or Costco, buy things, get it to the kitchen downstairs. So you are using your vehicle to serve God. Directly service is not practical. Krishna has enough gopis who are serving him. Somebody is taking care of his bed, somebody is taking care of his eating, somebody is taking care of his music, somebody is making flower garlands. There are 64 kalas. Kala means arts. And there are 16,108 gopis competing amongst themselves to serve Krishna. So where are you? You are nowhere in the picture. You are nowhere in the picture actually. So we serve here in the material world in a simple way, in some temple, serve the devotees. So slowly we transform our lust into love. And that's it. Once you transform the lust into love, your ticket is ready to go back. Go back. So everybody there in spiritual world is cooperating for what? Loving service to the one supreme Lord. Then you may ask the question, why should there only be one supreme Lord? That's it. Again, cycle starts. You come back, you kick down to material world, and you continue your journey. So we have to realize in what precarious condition we are in. You know what precarious means? Very delicate situation we are in. You have to put in a lot of effort to go back, but even if you make small mistakes here, you'll continue to reside here in this material world. So here are the comparisons between matter and spirit. Matter is asat, means temporary. Achit means dead, full of ignorance. Niranand means full of misery. You want to be Anand, Anandamayo Bhasya, but we are put into this Niranand situation. Whereas spirit is Satchidanand, means it's eternal, Sat means eternal, Chit means conscious, conscious of yourself and conscious of everything else. And Anand means full of bliss. Examples of matter are our body, where the world where we live in. Our body is not permanent, right? We're all experiencing daily decay. Hairline keeps going back pain, knee pain. Maybe when you were 16, you could run very fast. You try doing the same run now, knees will start aching. Body is decaying already. The world we live in is also decaying. See that? So what happens when certain cities decay? We move to a new city. It's not like world is not decaying. World is also decaying. Detroit. When I graduated, Detroit was the #1 place to go. Now anybody wants to go to Detroit? No. You want to go to Silicon Valley or come to Seattle, because that's where the market is. And 20 years from now, who cares about Seattle? It will be a dead place. People, they would find a new place, which is like that. Even the city is decaying. The world itself will decay. And it will be destroyed during Pralaya. In the spirit soul, God is the supreme soul, and we are the individual souls. And the spiritual world never decays. So Krishna says that the spiritual world itself never decays. So material world where we live in is considered to be a prison house. For all the rebellious souls like us, we have to be rectified here. That is the purpose of this material world. If you are already rectified, then you are not here. You will go back, basically. So all the great saints, they go back. And all the so-so people will continue to take birth again and again in this cycle of Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janam. So the material world is a restricted place for rectification. You have some freedom, but you don't have complete freedom. There will be problems along the way. People ask, why do I have so many problems? Yeah, that is by design. It is your rectification. If there are no problems, you'll become too proud. So problems will be thrown at you to discipline you, to tame you down. Everyone here is trying to be God. You may not realize it that way, but because of your controllership nature, I want to control this, I want to start a new company, I want to build this new Tesla or new this or that. This is controllership mentality. In the spiritual world, there is only one controller, Krishna, Supreme God. And when we tried to compete with him, he said, okay, you go and play in the sandbox. Like when kids want to create nuisance at the home, he said, go to backyard and create your own little castle there. Don't ruin my living room. It's the same thing. We tried to compete with God in the spiritual world. They said, okay, you go to this material world and you do your experimentation. When you're sick and tired of your experimentation, you come back to me. So that is the purpose of scriptures. Scriptures give you knowledge so that you can rectify behavior, our behavior, and then go back to where we came. Because you cannot create nuisance in the spiritual world. Therefore, we are here. And in material world, there is envy. Means if somebody is becoming more popular than me, if somebody is becoming more richer than me, I immediately become very upset. Yes or no? You have to study this. This is not theoretical study. This you have to see what you hear here, you have to practice in your life. How do you feel when your colleague gets promoted? First reaction is, why did I not get promoted? Yeah. There's only one Satya Nadella, 140,000 employees. Can everybody be a CEO? Or whatever his title is, CEO. No. So our envious nature comes out. Oh, why should he be there? Why can't I be there? That envious nature is there in the material world. On the contrary, spiritual world, column 2, spiritual world is our real home. That's where we belong. And it's an eternal place for loving, blissful exchanges. So there, everybody is in a love. Oh, you succeed in this? Oh, very good. Congratulations. There's no envy. So you want other people to succeed more than you in service to the Lord. If somebody makes a beautiful garland, he says, wow, you made such a beautiful garland for Krishna. Middle world, you made a garland which is 6 feet tall, I will make 7 feet tall. Competition, says it. Because I want to be better than you. That is the nature of material world. Everybody is competing, but then when you put 8 billion people competing with each other, what happens? It's a big chaos, right? Everybody's trying to compete with everybody else. Right? Do you think Israel-Palestine situation will ever be resolved? No. Pakistan-India? No. None of these issues will be resolved. We'll keep on fighting. They cannot be resolved because of this nature of envy. And in spiritual world, everybody is simply serving God. Here we don't want to serve. That's why we are here. I mean, we may do some drama. Once in a while, Saturday morning, we go to temple, put $10 in hundi, ring the bell. God, I gave you $10, give me Mercedes Benz, something like that. We do a little bit of drama in front of God. But Krishna is a big drama master. He knows your drama. He has done bigger dramas with his mother, Yashoda. So he is not going to be fooled with our little tricks. He's a big trickster himself. If you are a thief, he is a super thief. So the cell in the prison, our material world itself is a prison house, and each of our body is a cell within the prison house. So right now we all have Indian bodies in this room, right? Next lifetime, maybe American body, or Chinese body, or dog body, or rat body, or tree body. The tree, the poor tree is standing there outside. All its neighbors have been killed down, but that tree, nobody cut it down. So it's going to stand there. It's been there for like 300 years. Who knows for how long it will be there till somebody cuts it down. So it's a big punishment to be a tree actually. Eaten cold, always there outside. So, Jalaja Navalakshani, Sthavara Laksha Vinsati, Krimayo Rudra Samkhyaha, Akshinam Dasha Lakshanam, Rimsal Lakshani, Pashava Chatur Lakshani Manushaha. Means Jalaja. There are aquatic creatures which are Navalakshani, 9 lakhs. 9 lakhs is 900,000. So, there are 900,000 of species of aquatic creatures. It could be fish, it could be crab, it could be mollusk, but they're all aquatics. Sthavara Laksha Vinsati. So things that stand are 1 lakh, 100,000 types of trees. Krivayo Rudra Sankhyayaha means 10 lakhs of cremies, bugs, bacteria. There are 10 lakhs means 1 million. Pakshinam Dasha Lakshanam. Birds are 10 lakh species. By the way, this corresponds to what modern scientists say 0.4 million species. Bhagavad Gita, by the way, said that 5,000 years ago, and even prior to that. Trimsal Lakshani, Pashava Chatur Lakshani Manusha. 4 lakh types of human beings. So you may say, there are not 4 lakh races in the world. No. 4 lakh or 400,000 types of consciousness. Right? Some are extremely pious, some are extremely rebellious. So there are 4 lakh types of consciousness, right? And very rarely you will find somebody same as you in this material world, right? Once in a while you may find somebody who has similar qualities and so on, but otherwise they're different consciousness species. So different bodies provide different levels of consciousness, just like different cells in the prison. There is a class cell, like when Indira Gandhi was arrested during the emergency, she was put in a jail. But they had a special cow outside. She used to drink fresh milk. They were getting apples from Kashmir for her to eat. Because she is a prime minister, she is in a different cell. But if you are a pickpocket, will you get the same treatment? As a child, hard, take a lathi and hit him on the knees. Right? So there is a C class cell like that. A class cell, B class cell, C class cell. So depending upon our characteristics and our consciousness, we are put into different kinds of bodies. We are all similar in this room, right? We all come from India, from decent families, somewhat, and we all have a little bit of God consciousness in us. But that's not the same. If you go into wide open into the United States, you'll see people of all kinds of consciousness. They are drug dealers, they are serial killers, they are rapists, different kinds of consciousness. Yeah? Like I was telling last time, right? There was one guy who raped and killed 2 girls, they put him in jail, and after 10 years, they let him out. Then he comes out and again rapes 2 girls and kills them. So this is the foolishness of modern system. Don't show sympathy to a weird guy, right? If you simply hanged him last time, at least these 2 girls would have been alive. So that only one country in the world does, Saudi Arabia. Even India, they show this artificial sympathy to criminals. If you eliminate that fellow at that spot, then you won't have that trouble again. Recently that happened in Hyderabad. 2 lorry drivers and 2 lorry cleaners, they raped a girl and killed her. So what did police say? They gave them guns in their hand, some fake guns. They said, run. As they were running, they shot them from the back. Chapter close. They said, encounter. These people are running away. So we shot them and we killed them. In a way, it's good, so that they won't create nuisance again. This is what Manu Samhita says. If you kill somebody, it's better to eliminate them at that point, so that, again, let him go get a new body. Let him start his journey fresh. Because the fellow is already messed up, so much messed up, that there's no point in showing sympathy and compassion to a cruel guy or girl, whatever, right? So Manu Samhita is not followed in India. It's the only country following this, Saudi Arabia. If somebody steals, they cut off the hand, so that you never again do that. It may sound very harsh, but if you cut off one hand, 1,000 people will not steal again. It becomes a good example. So here is a little matrix. Demigods or devatas live thousands of millions or zillions of years. There is more enjoyment, less misery. They are in A class. Demigods means devatas. Devatas also die. But devatas have power to give you blessings. They have beautiful bodies. Our bodies are not that beautiful. We are very ugly actually compared to devatas. We may think we are very smart. We will put an Armani jacket or something like that and think we are very beautiful. But no, we are not that beautiful. Humans live for hundreds to thousands of years. In some countries, you have people who are touching 150, like China. And in the olden ages, people used to live for 1,000 years, right? Vishwamitra, those guys did tapas for 10,000 years, which means they lived for more than 10,000. They were born, they grew up, they did tapas for 10,000 years. And after some time, some people never died, like Agat Singh Muni, Tulasi Muni, they're still alive, they never died. They come during Ram's time, they come during Krishna's time. 1.7 million years separated. Is there some human beings who never die? They live very long. And they are in the middle planetary systems like Earth, Guloka, and they have the qualities. Some enjoyment, some misery. That is B class, that is human. Animals and trees, less enjoyment, more misery. Right? Dog will come and pass urine on a tree. You are tolerated. If somebody passes urine on you, would you tolerate it? No, because you have a human body. You can take a chappal and hit him, or even before he tries to do something like that, you may beat him up. So you have more control over yourself. Whereas tree has to stand there. Dog comes, passes urine. Some farmer will come with an axe and cut you off. No. What can you do? Nothing. So there is more misery, less enjoyment. Enjoyment. What kind of enjoyment do you think these tall pine trees are having right now? They're watching some Amitabh Bachchan movie right now. Yeah? No? They're eating some nice rasgulla. Nothing. There's practically no enjoyment. They're suffering actually. In the cold weather, they are suffering. Snow falls on their leaves. They're very cold. Hot weather, they are again suffering. They don't have a concept of a jacket, for example. And then such species are more in lower planetary systems. Like Patala, everybody is almost like a snake. Patala, that's the lowest in the. So we can be a demigod, devata, or we can come back as humans, or we can come down as animals and trees. Most important thing is come back as at least humans. At least you can think about this topic, focus on yourself, and move forward. If you fall into an animal body, chapter close. It is better to become a devata, but it's not so easy to become a devata in your next life. Material world is a prison house, body is a cell within the prison house. There are three modes of material nature, which are the ropes. Mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. So now we will talk about those three different kinds of ropes. Sattvam rajastama iti guna prakriti sambhavaha nibadnanti mahabhaho dehe dehinam avyayam. Material nature consists of three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. When the eternal living entity comes in contact with nature, O mighty armed Arjuna, he becomes conditioned by these modes. By the way, all of you are on the WhatsApp, right? We started a WhatsApp group. We'll ask questions there. You should collaborate. That's the purpose of WhatsApp, right? So that you can discuss these topics. If you have a question, you type it in there. Like either I can answer or one of your colleagues can answer. That's the purpose of those discussion groups. So goodness, passion, and ignorance. When the eternal living entity comes in contact with nature, O mighty armed Arjuna, it becomes conditioned. So the soul in spiritual world doesn't have goodness, passion, ignorance. When we come to the material world, immediately we are covered with passion. So we have all three. In the morning, we are in mode of goodness. During the day, we are in passion, working to make money. In the evening, we are in ignorance. We are lazy and dull. And some people put them in sense in super ignorance by drinking alcohol in the evening. As it is, you are in ignorance, and then they drink more. Like in consulting firms, there's a term called attitude correction. So if you have bad attitude, then the boss will take you to a bar and then get you drunk. So that you'll forget your worries. The next day, you'll again work like a donkey. That's the idea. Tatra sattvam nirmalvat prakasham anamayam sukha sangena badnati jnana sangena chanaga. Tatra means therefore. Because there was some verse before this. Now Krishna is saying therefore. Sattvam, mode of goodness. Nirmalatvat, being purest. Nirmal. Right? Sometimes girls are given the name Nirmal. What does Nirmal means? Pure. Nirmalatvat means being pure. Prakash. Prakash means light or illuminating. Prakasham means the act of illumination. Anamayam means without any sinful reaction. Sukha is happiness. Sangena, association. Sukha sangena or dukkha sangena. Sukha sangena means with happiness. Badnati, condition, means it will tailor you like that. Why does a pig in India eat stool? Like whatever humans discharge, they eat them as if it's a great delicacy. Because they're conditioned. So people who are very low class, the souls, they're conditioned to be born as pigs so that they can enjoy more stool. For them, it is delicacy like that. So we are also conditioned. We are conditioned to take a lot of pain. Every day boss is yelling at you, prices are rising, your car breaks down, and we think everything is so happy. Because we are conditioned to take pain as happiness. They show this in the movie Devdas. Has anybody seen Devdas? 1970s movie. It was remade from Bengali. It was remade in Hindi, in Telugu, in many other languages. So people think that they are in happiness, but actually they are being tortured every day by these modes of material nature. So Krishna is saying, O sinless one, the mode of goodness being purer than others, because it is nirmala. He is illuminating, prakasham. And it frees one from sinful reactions, anamayam. Those situated in this mode become conditioned by sense of happiness and knowledge. To be really happy, you have to be in the mode of goodness. The ignorance, happiness is not happiness. You have misery, you cover it with a bottle of vodka. And in the morning, you have the bill for the vodka, and the misery hasn't gone away. So, misery will go away just because you got drunk, and the problem still remains. So, happiness is only possible in mode of goodness, sattva guna. Because it is prakasham, illuminating, and it is anamayam, without any sinful reaction. By drinking alcohol, you are committing a sin. By eating meat, you are committing a sin. By doing illicit sex, you are committing a sin. By gambling, you are committing a sin. In mode of ignorance, these four things are prominent. So mode of ignorance can never bring you real happiness. Right? People say, oh, what did you do for vacation? Yeah, we went to Vegas. Yeah, we had some very nice buffet. We drank some alcohol. We did some gambling. All these are simple. So you will be worse than where you went to Vegas. Right? Even worse than where you started off. So sattva guna or goodness is seeking knowledge, life free from sins and conditioned by happiness. Even sattva guna is a conditioning thing. It is like a rope that is tying you so that you cannot be liberated from cycle of birth. How? Because you come to a platform of happiness, you are playing nice music, you are singing nice songs, and you think life is good. But still you are stuck in the material world. But sattva is better than the other two. Other two are horrible. So the other one is symptomatic of our lives. Always looking at the watch, always run. Rajo ragatmakam viddhi trishna sanga samudbhavam tannibhnati kaunteya karma sangena dehinam. Raja means mode of passion. In mode of passion, you want achievement, name, fame, honor. I am from Reddy clan, so I have to protect my other fellow Reddys. Or I am from Kayastha clan, I have to protect my fellow Kayasthas. All this is mode of passion. Right? Raga atmakam. Raga means desire. Trishna. A deer is running in a desert. It sees water, then it starts running towards the water. When it reaches there is no water. Again, it sees water 2 kilometers away. Again, it runs. That is the nature of mode of passion. We are always running for something and we don't know what the end destination is. That is mode of passion. Run. When Microsoft stock was 25, people ran so that it can become 30. Now it is 180, people are still running. It never ends. Never ends. Even if it becomes 1,000, it will never end. When people in Amazon were reasonably happy when it was 300, at 2,000, now they are hoping for it to go to 3,000. Krishna. Because your destination never ends. When it comes to 2,000, now you want it to be 3,000. When it is 3,000, you want it to be 10,000. Never ends. So you are never happy actually. You may be making money, but you are always miserable in the mode of passion. Which is why America, the richest country in the world, is mostly miserable. Everybody is crying for something, I don't know. At least in my circle of at least 100 people, everybody is always crying for something, although it's the richest country in the world. Krishna. Krishna means it's a illusion. Hankering. You're always hankering for something higher. Nibadnati means bind, bandhan. It is tying you. It's tying you in that mode. So the soul is controlled by these three modes. Mode of goodness is illuminating. It is giving you happiness, but still binding you. Mode of passion is not illuminating. It is Trishna, means you are always running after something. It is binding. Mode of ignorance is all and out binding because it doesn't have any good qualities. So Rajoguna, unlimited desires. I met the other day one of my friends. 15 years ago, he had one house. He was perfectly happy. Now he has 4 houses. He didn't look that happy anymore. 4 houses, Baba. You are in top 1% of the, or maybe top 5% of the world's, people. Right? Most people are living in huts in this planet, living in ramshackle homes. You have 1 4-bedroom house and 3 4-bedroom houses to rent out. What else you want? He didn't seem very happy actually. Fruitive activities, they want something back. If I spend 1, I want to get 2. That is the mentality, which is what most of us are in actually. We are all in Rajogun. You have to first come to Sattvagun so that the subject matter of soul and liberation makes sense. And then we should practice in that platform to eventually go back to spiritual. The next one is more horrible. Here is a Tamogun guy. He is drunk, Namoradam, and he's fallen down on the street not knowing where it is. Tamastva ajnanajam vidhi mohanam sarvadehinam pramadhalasya nidravis tannibnanti bharatam. Tama means mode of ignorance. Ajnanajam, producer of ignorance. Ignorance produces more ignorance. Mohanam, moha, illusion. It is based on illusion. Pramada, madness. Alasya, indolence or laziness. Pramada means you think right is wrong, wrong is right. Alasya means you're lazy. Why don't you go to the temple? I'll go next week. Next week comes, when will you go? Next month. You never take any interest in anything. And this is also Nibnati. Nibnati means it binds. So mode of ignorance is more tightly binding. Rajas is a little loose, but still very tightly binding. Mode of goodness is very loosely binding. So from mode of goodness, you can escape. The soul can escape to higher realms. Prior to that, we cannot. O son of Bharata, know that the mode of darkness, born of ignorance, is the delusion. Illusion, when multiplied many times, becomes delusion. Delusion means serious illusion. The results of this mode are madness, indolence, and sleep, which bind the conditioned soul. By the way, we are all in mode of ignorance at some point in day, but you have to get out of it. Otherwise, what if we die in the night when we are in the mode of ignorance? Then we are not going to get a human body. Right? So many challenges. So Tamoguna, ignorance, madness, laziness, ignorance of right and wrong, sleep and intoxication. So to get out of mode of ignorance, first thing is we should take out all intoxicants out of our life. Like no alcohol, marijuana, no coffee and tea also. Coffee and tea are also intoxicants. How do you know? After the previous coffee wears off, you will say, okay, I want to go to coffee again. I'm there in office and I'm working. All of a sudden, everybody gets up, goes to the common room and gets coffee. And I'm saying, I'm okay. Why are you guys getting up? Because it is worn off. The previous intoxication has worn off. So now they need one more jolt. So one of the consequences of the spiritual life is everybody else will be tired around you and you'll be super energized. You'll be super energized. So early morning activities from sunrise, early morning activities is mode of goodness. From sunrise to sunset is mode of passion. And evening and nightlife, that is mode of ignorance. That's why early to bed and early to rise makes a person healthy, happy, and wise. You note that I've taken out wealthy. Wealthy will automatically come because when you do all these things, wealth is a byproduct. Wealth is never a primary product. Do you know this? Wealth is never a primary product. It's a byproduct. Ayu sattva balarogya sukha priti vivardhanaha rasaya snigdha stira hridaya ahara sattvika priya. Foods dear to those in mode of goodness increase the duration of life. Like if you drink a lot of milk, you actually live longer. Drink a lot of milk, you live longer. But now they have replaced milk with Coca-Cola and soda, which will actually reduce your life. So if you look at most of the products which are there in the West, are designed so that you fall sick, so that you can help the economy by going to the doctor, getting surgery done. 1/6 of US economy is medical care. It is not health care, it is called sick care. After you become sick, they are treating you. That's called sick care. Health care means before you fall sick, you prevent falling sickness. So if you're in mode of goodness, then you fall sick very less. You still fall sick on occasion. So that is not good for the economy. How will the government promote those things? Government will promote alcohol, marijuana, they are legal in our state, right? Marijuana, meat eating, so that you fall sick, so that the economy runs. Because if you follow the Bhagavad Gita, you'll say, "Hey, I'll have simple living, I'll not buy that next car. I won't drink alcohol, I won't eat meat, I won't gamble, I won't do this and that, I won't go to cinema because I'm getting happiness from Bhagavad Gita." Sukha Sangena Bhajnati, Jnana Sangena Bharata. Sukha, you are happy already, so you don't need to pursue anymore. Then the economy will collapse. They want you to not read Bhagavad Gita. They want you to be in the mode of ignorance, because mode of ignorance produces most wealth for the American or Western society. In Atlanta, I was driving on the highway, there's a board, uncontested divorce, $199. So for $199, you can divorce your husband or wife. They made it very simple, online divorce. And there was an article, how divorce is good for American economy. Because when you divorce, what do? You had one house, now you need two houses. Economy is improving. You had one washing machine, now you need two washing machines. You had one car, you need two cars. Everything gets multiplied by 2. So divorce is good for American economy. That's how they concluded. So in the name of economy, they're taking away your happiness. Yeah. We're all knee deep in this stuff, right? Each one of us has a mortgage. We have car payments. We have this payment, that payment. If even one of you leaves America, all of a sudden American economy is minus $100,000. If 10 people leave, $1 million is lost in American economy. Don't think they're very nice to you or anything. You came here to improve the economy. Right? We all came to improve the economy. Otherwise, why would anybody be so nice to us, allowing us to work in their country? So foods dear to those in mode of goodness increase duration of life, purify one's existence, give strength, health, happiness. Such foods are juicy, fatty, like milk, wholesome and pleasing to the heart, like fruit juices, milk, kheer, nice sweets made out of milk, nice vegetables, nice fruits, like that. Then mode of passion, Tatvamla Navanati Ushna Tikshna Ruksha Vidanaha Ahara Rajasa Yeshta Dukkha Sokamaya Pradaham. The foods that are too bitter, too sour, too salty, too pungent, dry and burning are dear to most in mode of passion. Like if you have gunpowder based sambar, you know what gunpowder is? Strong masala that you put in sambar. So that mouth will burn, stomach will burn. What a chai. That is mode of passion, Rajogul. Such foods cause distress, misery, and disease. The third one is even worse. Yatayamam gatarasam puti puryishtam chaya uchistam api chamedhyam bhojanam tamasapriya. So people who are in the mode of ignorance, tamasa, they like foods yatayamam gatarasam. Gatarasam, no rasa. It is dead food. I was in Germany, working in Germany at one point. So some people were saying, Americans were saying, oh, did you see here? There is no FDI here in Germany. That's why when they cut the carcasses, they kill the animals. They carry them in open trucks. The carcasses are hanging there. And the second person said, that's why it tastes so good here. Because it's already decaying. So this person thinks that decayed food is better than fresh food. What of ignorance? Yeah. What is alcohol? It is decayed wheat. I mean, beer is decayed wheat, right? We have to decay the beer berries or wheat berries, then beer comes out. What is alcohol? You further take the alcohol and refine it, then it becomes whiskey or vodka or whatever. So these are all mode of ignorance. They are decayed foods. Milk is pure. Fruit juices are pure, but these other things are not. So tamasa priya means tamogun people like that. Foods prepared more than 3 hours before being eaten. Food that is tasteless, decomposed and putrid. Putrid means decaying. And foods consisting remnants of untouchable things like meat, fish, eggs. You're not supposed to eat them. They're not good for your body at all. Modern society is created in such a way, everywhere you go, there is McDonald's, KFC, actually, this is a very interesting thing. Just when I was in Montreal working, so one colleague was saying, his friend went to Shenzhen in China. He entered a restaurant. One said they were dogs, one said they were cats. The owner said, you pick any dog or cat, we'll cut it and we'll cook it for you. So he looked at a cat, the cat looked in his eyes, and immediately said, how can I eat this cat? And he walked in. Right? They eat everything in China. Poisonous snakes included. Wuhan, yeah. Wuhan is just an example. It could have happened anywhere in China. Shanghai, Beijing, everywhere. Suzhou. I went to a small town in Suzhou. They had more kinds of animals than you can imagine that were served on the plate. The only thing I could eat there was tofu. Luckily, they had tofu. So these things are mode of ignorance, like alcohol, meat, fish, eggs. These are mode of ignorance. They will never let you get out of that cycle. You cannot even think of God if you are in the mode of ignorance. That's why vast majority of America, they have no concept of anything higher than eat, drink, and be merry. Because it's like a trap. Once you eat sufficient amount of meat, then upper department goes for a toss. You cannot think of God anymore. So yeah, it is a poor animal that you are killing. That is secondary. Most important thing is you cannot think anymore by eating meat, fish, and eggs. The upper department gets messed up. So if you are still eating meat, give it up. You will thank me for that 10 years, 15 years from now. So mode of goodness is like a golden chain. Sattva guna is like a golden chain. Mode of passion is like a silver chain. Mode of ignorance is like iron chain. But all three are chains, Baba. It's like everything is capturing you. So why do you want to be in a chain? Be revealed. Be liberated from these chains. So if you don't participate in any of these activities, then you're already free. Then you chant the Hare Krishna mantra, then it will take you to a higher level of freedom. Okay, so let's chant. Everybody says, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita, Gadadhara, Shrivasadi, Gaura Bhakta Vrindam. Now chant together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. We finish one round. So pull out your smartphones and go to the LinkedIn app and add me there, Radhika Gopinath Das. And I know Shekhar sent me an invite. Others haven't sent that. So I publish papers there so you can learn more. Thank you very much. I will have to share. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, 1 minute. Escape. प्रियाय केशवश्च विष्णुभक्ति प्रदेवी सत्यवत्याय नमो नमः. If you are able to stay, please stand up for CRT. Tulasi Krishna Priyasi Namo Namaha. Radha Krishna Seva Pao Deya Vilasi
Radha Krishna Seva Pao Priya Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Maharani, Jaya Krishna, Maharani, Jaya Krishna, Devi, Jaya Krishna, Devi. Jaya Krishna, Devi, Jaya Krishna, Devi. Hare Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hare Hari Bol. Read the translation. O Tulsi, beloved of Krishna, I go before you again and again. My desire is to obtain the service of Krishna. Whoever takes shelter of you has his wish fulfilled. Bestowing your mercy on me, you make him a resident of Vrindavan. My desire is that you will also grant me a residence in the pleasant groves of Vrindavan. Thus, within my vision, I will always behold the beautiful prospects of Krishna. I beg you to make me a follower of our religions. Please give me the privilege of devotional service and make me your home. This very follower and only servant of Krishna's grace, may I always swim in the love of sweet flower and gold. Tulsi Devi ki, Bhakti Devi ki, Nanda Devi ki.